Hi again. So, how are things going?
You mentioned some kind of eclexus, blah blah. Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Now humor me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a dance club in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity! Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it, the anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat, nod your head.
Feels good.
I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anodic music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian church.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
We're going to talk about the church again.
Yes? What's the deal?
Didn't see the other spooker with machine.
But she's in there somewhere. Has to be. Have you tried investigating the machines? Anyway, do let us know if you see her.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
Alright.
He nods enthusiastically.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Alright, I was hoping he would give me a description of her, but guess he just doesn't know. Just does not know. I guess we'll inspect the machines. 'Cause what else do we have to do? Here's to another month. Enjoyed watching your chill vibes and funny made-up acronyms. Keep it up. Thank you very much for the 9 months, Epicotter. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. It still blows my mind that has not chased off. Maybe not specifically you, but potentially other people.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
Print.
Nothing happens.
Play.
The speaker comes to life, Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log Febmar.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, but I'm finished with this call.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
He says as her voice disappears into a whirl of static.
The machine's keyboard.
It's great. That is great. Dialgo.
Oh, hey, wait. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
Have you by any chance heard the Vihita say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Honestly, I just want to break into the radio computer, see what's on it.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
I figured this guy would just be like, yeah, I don't care, you can have it.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it. I think we're done here, essay.
The figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure whether we'll find our suspect here.
All right. All right.
The machine's keyboard. The speaker comes to life.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Try this again. I think I may have the right password for the personal log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Nope.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read the printout.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, A new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced. 8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Data loss.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right towards the silence.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
What could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
Must be describing a seal.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer. And the storekeeper must be Lassance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCN, you see.
Looking for a suspect in a murder investigation. We thought they might be hiding here.
No one's hiding here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
How long does it take to reboot machines in this timeline? You guys remember back to, what was it? Let's just say like the 90s to the 2000s, early 2000s. Restarting your computer was like a 5 to 10 minute ordeal. Just took an eternity to do. So if this computer is several years before that, it might take hours.
What is it?
I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Does not look like a big loss to her. Hey, are you the lead programmer of the Whirl Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages.
Dante, is Vox and Orbis languages, are those real?
If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
Turns back to the terminal.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager.
You know what, for you, Axel? Absolutely they're real? Really? That's crazy. Have you seen the Crab Man?
Nope.
But you know he's around.
Yes.
He's seen you, or... He must have seen you. No, he's seen you.
And?
Okay, it's probably not a big deal then.
No, you're right. I'm not.
Her voice trails off. She bends over to tinker with the machine's printer. Have you seen anyone suspicious, say a woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
How do you feel about anodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Have you even listened to it? Like actually listened?
Yeah, like all the time. My tent neighbors don't really ease up with their partying, do they?
He pulls a face that looks absolutely scathing.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right, but how do you feel about a club for anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
I'm still convinced they want to establish a nightclub for Anadic dance music. They said it was their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
What are you doing in the abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hint of amusement in her tired eyes. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
She says, ready to stand her ground again. What research?
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
He's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, waiting for your answer.
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
You measure it by collecting data on its surroundings, on that which exists.
Exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at her circle of basins. Looks like some ancient ritual. You have any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
He looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch-black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark, most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow, and the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think the Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
You said the research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
That's all I wanted to know about the scary 2mm hole in the world for now.
Great. Thanks.
Guess I'll let you work in peace.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Learning cap for logic raised to 4. -1 difficulty to all physique passives. Oof. Oh, it is a new day. Need to remember to go call the, whatchamacallit. Alrighty. Well, it would have been a pretty big stretch for Ruby to be involved with all those computers, but, you know, they could have been there before. What do I know? $11,000 happy munchlacks. You're building them up. Thinking of channel point rewards is one of the most challenging things to actually do. I have no idea how I can create interesting things that are not, you know, go hydrate or something like that, because those aren't interesting things to me.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
We're gonna talk about the church again.
Yes? What's the deal?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, appeared.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
You said you guys haven't been completely honest with me about your plans.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
Stuffy tent muffles the last 2 words. The command fails to impress.
A half-hearted sell of something which does not seem worth buying.
The love? No, I'm not really feeling it at all.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Ja oder nein? Rocking it or dropping it? Come on, man.
Feels a
A half-hearted sell of...
You'll get there. Anyway, now that it's settled,
She
how
didn't
did
like
she
it.
seem?
What a pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
unity! Dance!
Made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is finished.
And you can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. We have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, Honor Man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist, coexist.
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
She absolutely does not. Really, truly despises it.
Egghead cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Alright, I'll see how it goes.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer.
My back is killing me. Alright. You know what? This quest is so unimportant right now. We can mess around with this later. I want to do this quest. Okay. Washerwoman is hiding something. Look around. Maybe get into her shack somehow. How do I get over here again?
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
That's great. Oh, apparently I can't go over there. I don't remember if there is additional people. Well, Ruby's not in there.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Is little Lily your sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
It's impossible to be good with kids. They're too stupid.
You're right there. Let's see if we can find some police work, shall we? We're not getting anything here.
Maybe you can tell me where Ruby is.
Hello, mister.
Do you know anyone named Ruby?
Luby. Ruby.
Suddenly the girl gets all serious and leans in as if she's about to tell you a secret.
My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes I can, but then Uller.
Kids.
Bye.
Kids. How am I gonna break into this woman's house? That's the question here. Alright, let's go over on this side here. Alright, come on, man. I ain't got all day. Exercise.
The policeman. What can our village do for you?
Or could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Okay, I'll take it.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
He appears from under her apron. She hands it to you.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing, and one thing only. Drinking.
Right.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Lock the shack with the key.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Just looking for evidence. That's all. A lot of evidence in here.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Put aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact, fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
A bullet. Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Yeah, definitely not doing that.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Okay. I don't know what a bullet really helps us out with. Also, I found a bullet earlier, and it wasn't in my inventory. Does this mean I have 2 bullets now? Nope. Oh, very, very strange.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
She murmurs softly.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her.
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
You speak slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hand moves into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your Kanema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No,
The truth, sire.
What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
She looks back toward her shack, thinking.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye. Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Further up the coast we go.
Are you sure you'd rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater. Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
He looks around. The air is getting colder.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
People don't know people. It sounds like you don't know her. He's with the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys are dangerous business.
You see, a once bright mural, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away." Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
$20 in shivers? Holy cow. Hey. I think I can get +2 at most. 1, 2. Yep, just 2. Would put us at 4. I have 2 skill points. That would put us at 6. Still wouldn't give us 20.
There's some tear. An empty...
The chewing gum?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
Well, it's a reusable check, but it's 20. How am I supposed to progress? Inspect it thoroughly. How am I supposed to progress if I fail the check? That's the real thing here. But we have some skill points, so let's see what happens.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We've already talked to the cryptozoologists. Working with them might give us a good excuse to run around, give us some structure. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
If that fails, if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look.
Oh, sorry. Well, whatever. Alright, cryptozoologist. Oh, I thought man.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Hello, hello. What can I do for you, officer?
Looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Okay. Alright, ask around. There are people to the west of the mural. I don't know, ask a girl on a date, then ask her, ask the wind maybe. Oh no. This is the kind of stuff that I'm afraid of.
row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A single person stands on the sideline.
Kim, who was in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Feld?
What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
Mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind.
Well, that's great. That's just great. Cryptozoologists don't know nothing.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of it streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Might be a clue.
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets?
Could have been multiple seagulls.
A poet could write a dozen verses and still not begin to capture the profound vexation in that sigh. You should still take it.
Huh. I would sigh just like that.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Guess we're going back in the church. Apparently it's time to mark. Let's mark here.